holidays are often associated with particular plants like poinsettia, cyclamen, and evergreen wreaths. Joining me is Lori Watson of Mill Creek Greenhouses to talk about my favorite group of holiday plants, the Holiday Cactus. Lori, obviously these are particularly interesting to me, but I understand you have an affinity for holiday cactus as well.
Yes, I always have a special memory of Olivia Ragsdale and Charles Wessinger, who are now retired, but grew Christmas cactuses out around the Columbia area. One at the farmer's market and then one at his farm in Chapin.
Neat. Yes. Memories, that's what I love about plants. And this particular plant is one that I gave my grandmother about 10 years ago. So I love that I can continue to watch it grow and flower each year, and it will be a memory that I hope to have for many years to come.
True, and it doesn't look like a 10-year-old plant.
It's aging gracefully.
Yes.
And you have a plant that belongs to a family member as well.
Yes, my mother-in-law. This is her beautiful cactus right there.
How neat. Well, we should probably let our viewers know that we are taping this at the end of November, so that's important as we look at how the plants are actually appearing today. In the intro, I talked about holiday cactus, and you mentioned Christmas cactus, and it can be very confusing to a consumer. And I believe actually everything pictured here is a Thanksgiving cactus.
Right.
So we'll try to explain a little bit about the difference. They are all in the genus Schlumbergera. Let's hope I got that Latin correct. And what do we know about the stem segments? When we're looking at a Thanksgiving cactus, we can tell by...
Well, the leaves are the stems.
That's right. Those.
And then the thorns look sort of like a holly leaf.
Looks like a holly leaf.
Points.
So it's serrated on the edges, yes. And so most of what I see, everything that's pictured here, has those serrations on the margins of the stem segments or the phylloclads. It doesn't matter what color it happens to be. There's an assortment of both. Yes. And these are pretty easy plants to grow, originally native to Brazil in rainforest areas. I don't think when people think of cactus, they probably imagine arid deserts.
That's right, right. That was an interesting thing too, that they like sort of the moisture and the humidity that surrounds them more than just something that's full sun and arid.
That's right. So they grow as epiphytes, which is incredible to me. So I think of an epiphyte as an orchid. It's growing just on something, not with its roots down in the soil like we think of most plants. And so I think that's why these can be a little bit tricky to grow, in that they do want the water because they come from those moist areas, but they don't want to be waterlogged. They don't want to have those wet feet, right? Now what people ask me is, how do you get them to flower?
Well, they like the cooler temperatures and the long nights.
That's right.
Yes.
That photo period is really critical in an indoor setting. Now, left outdoors, like you said, in temperatures about 50 degrees, they will flower regardless of light or dark conditions. But I don't know about you, I don't like 50 degrees in my house.
I know, I don't.
That's way too cold. So in a household setting, they're going to be looking for about 14 hours of darkness, which is what would be occurring around that Thanksgiving time.
Right.
But it can sometimes be interrupted by the light that we have in our house.
Yeah, just our natural light. So a closet?
You certainly. Now, I have my Thanksgiving cactus is in my dining room, and then I have one in my bathroom as well. And so they're not generally affected by lighting outside of the normal daylight hours. But if you do have it, say, in a living room where you might be having light on until 11 or 12 o'clock at night, and you want to ensure that you get flowers, you could put it in a closet so it gets that 14 hours of dark period to trigger those. Yeah. And now once it starts to flower and get those buds, then it doesn't matter. It's all set to go, and you can take it out and don't have to worry about the dark anymore.
Right. You might want to watch a little bit on the watering, because the buds will start to drop if it gets too wet.
That's right. They can be a little finicky.
All right. Just during the flowering period, but otherwise during the year they're just wonderful.
They really are. And propagation is easy too, which is great, as we were mentioning memories. So, I would be very sad if this plant, if something happened to it. So I could take some stem cuttings and I could propagate it, and then even if this one passed away, I would still have those segments to continue on.
Yes, and it seems fairly easy, even just for a child, to show them how a leaf and a stem node would root.
That's right.
It's just really neat. And just within several weeks, you would almost have a new leaf showing.
Yes, and so we're recording this at the end of November, so this really wouldn't be the appropriate time to do propagation. That would be more springtime.
Spring, early summer, because they're just like any other plant. They like the winter dormancy a little bit. That's not their active time of growing. So, and then a little fertilizer, early summer, just up to about maybe August, but then I would sort of finish with the fertilizing then before the bloom period.
Mm-hmm. You know, I kind of neglect my house plants, and I'll tell you that this plant has never been fertilized, and it's doing just
and it looks
fine.
Beautiful.
It really does. Now it needs to be repotted. They tend to do kind of okay, or prefer to have sort of a little bit of root bound setting, but this one is probably overdue. When would be the best time to repot?
In their active growing season, yes.
Okay.
A little bit warmer conditions outside, and they love to be outside.
Yes, as long as you remember, they can't take bright, direct sun.
Correct. They need to be like under a dogwood, pine trees that doesn't get a lot of hot sun.
So getting some filtered light, and we need to make sure that we bring it in before it gets probably below 50, would you say?
Correct.
Because otherwise, then you're going to suffer some cold damage. You learned that the hard way, I understand.
Yes, I did.
We have quite an assortment of color here today, and that's, you know, something that's attractive about holiday cactus. They can go with anything.
They really can. With any decor of your Christmas decorations, just the color is festive.
Yeah, I mean, there's red, there's hot pink, there's light pink, there's peach, there's white. I mean, surely you can find somewhere in your house that it can fit in.
Yes.
If folks would like to know more about holiday cactus, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
We're on Leesburg Road in Columbia, Mill Creek Greenhouses. We have a Facebook page and a web page.
Sounds like where there's a will, there's a way.
There is.
No matter whether it's a Thanksgiving cactus, a Christmas cactus, it's sure to add beauty and festivities to your holiday season.